Jim Sterk, who is the athletic director at San Diego State, is here, and he is live and in studio. And, Jim, thank you for coming in. And I said it earlier. I feel bad that we haven't met yet. I mean, this isn't, it's San Diego. We should have met by now. So I'm sorry we haven't done it before, but thank you for coming in today.
Well, I feel like I know you because I listen to the 1090 a lot and when I'm driving around and in the office, so I appreciate the opportunity.
Well, congratulations. You are obviously doing a terrific job at San Diego State. The Aztecs are bound for a bowl game for the first time since '98. The Aztec basketball team is in the top 25. Clearly, that's a reflection on how good a job you're doing, right?
Well, it's a reflection on the people that have come before me and those that are involved with the programs. I inherited a great group of people, a great group of coaches, and I did my homework before I took this job. And so people want to get my race bets right now because I really thought that there was a great upside here, and it's now starting to blossom. And I was just talking with President Weber, who's been here 15 years. His tenure's just ending. He's retiring at the end of this year and end of the academic year, and he says, and you're just starting. He says you picked the right time to come because it is a great time. It's a great time to be an Aztec and a lot of good things going on.
Well, timing's everything, right? Isn't that what they say in life?
That's what they say.
Doesn't matter what the profession is. See, I want to give you all the credit, but I knew you'd trickle it down there to the coaches and to, of course, the student athletes. But yeah, let's start with football because football this year with Brady Hoke and some of the things that they have done. Now, we just got an email here from your department that as much as people were wondering, was it Poinsettia Bowl and was it going to be Vegas Bowl, and everybody thought the lean was towards Poinsettia Bowl. But it's official now. You guys are going to play in the Poinsettia Bowl?
It's not official yet. December 5th. They can't announce it until December 5th,
okay.
But in the possibility that we end up in the Poinsettia Bowl, we have put out the information, and so that people can place their orders ahead of time, and our priority obviously goes to our season ticket holders and supporters, but also those people that want to buy season tickets for next year, they can get ahead of the general public by doing that. So it's a great opportunity for us to finish the season, but also jumpstart for next year.
Okay, so it's not. We got to cross our fingers, wink, wink, and then hopefully you guys get the invite.
Yeah, it's sure pointing in that direction, and in talking to Bruce Binkowski and the Holiday and San Diego Bowl committee, they really want us there. They were able to offer Navy already because they had an agreement with them once they became bowl eligible, winning 6 games. And it's Eric Graves is their president this year, and he's a San Diego State alum. And when I met him this summer, he said, my goal as president would be to have San Diego State would be just a great year, and it's really pointing in that direction. It looks like it's going to happen, but we can't officially announce it until December 5th.
Okay, you can just point people in the right direction if they want to go and buy their tickets in advance, and if they want to roll the dice and expect San Diego State to play there.
Well, you don't roll the dice. We won't charge you until we're actually officially in.
Gotcha.
But they can place their orders, and we're just trying to get ahead of the game.
All right, Jim Sterk in studio here, athletic director at San Diego State. It's funny, too, because you talk about bowl games, and I've read some stuff recently about payouts, and a lot of schools, it's not the cash cow that a lot of people think. Yeah, and at first I remember thinking, wow, I think it'd be kind of neat if the Aztecs went to the Vegas Bowl. Yeah, you can picture all these people driving on the 15 freeway out to Vegas, but financially, and you know this from Washington State, and we were talking about the Holiday Bowl before you came on. Is it true that these things are not what people think they are, and sometimes it ends up costing an athletic department some money to go play in some of them?
Yeah, really the way the conferences usually work it is the revenues from the bowls go into one pot, and they give you a budget to work with to stay within and go to the bowl. If you do not stay within that budget, and it doesn't always cover all the expenses that you would think, and like bringing the bands, and if they're 250 strong, that's a lot of people to move and buy tickets for, and room and board and all. So it can get away from you really quick. In fact, right before I went to Washington State, I think Wisconsin went to the Rose Bowl, and I remember them losing $300 and some thousand, and my president at Washington State made sure that I knew that we needed to stay within the budget, and President Weber's the same way. We need to stay within our budget, and you just can't do everything you'd like to do, but that big money, if you get into a BCS bowl, that'll be distributed, and they have whoever goes has a budget to work with.
Yeah, well, that's because Wisconsin takes like the whole state, don't they? I mean,
that's right.
What do they always say? Last person out, turn out the lights.
Yeah.
Because the whole state will show up in Pasadena for that game.
That's for sure.
No question about it. Yeah, Jim Sterk here and in studio. Yeah, and I think then staying locally, if that does happen, then that will be a very good thing on a bunch of different fronts for San Diego State.
Yeah, it gives us, as I said, a chance to finish and celebrate the season. There still will be the bowl festivities, and there's nobody that does it any better than the San Diego Bowl committee, and they, with the Holiday Bowl, after being in that in 03, it was better than the Rose Bowl. It was better than any bowl that any of my peers in the business. They really enjoy coming to San Diego, and so you have a great group of volunteers with the Redcoats. Obviously, a great city, have a lot of things for kids to do, and so they have it set up really well. And the military's a part of it. You have a luncheon on the midway, and it's a great experience. And I think it'll be a great one for our kids.
How much do you hear from alumni who are not in San Diego? I mean, would it be because you think about bowl games and what it means here locally, and a lot of times the attraction is with the Holiday Bowl, as you know, with Washington State. You want to get people in town. You want to get them in the hotels. You want to get them in the restaurants. Is there anything to that with San Diego State? I mean, do you hear from alumni who are located outside of San Diego?
Yeah, we obviously most of the alumni are in San Diego, but I think a lot of people will be traveling in for that game and want to be here. The parents of our players, the people from L.A. may not necessarily want to drive back afterwards. We have a big contingency in Orange County and San Francisco, and so those are the people that we're marketing to, and our alumni association is working with to make sure that they know which hotels are a part of it and where they can get their tickets, and I expect a good crowd, and obviously there'll be a Navy contingency too the same way.
It's a perfect fit. I mean, those two schools, perfect fit here for this city, right?
Yeah, it really is.
What can you say about the job Brady Hoke has done?
You know, Brady, I did my homework before I accepted the job, as I said, and he's done one. He's a great coach himself, but then he surrounded himself with a great staff, offensive, defensive coordinators, and got Brian Sipe to come out of the high school ranks of being an Aztec and a pro. And Brady he knew and had a game plan that he wanted to execute, and he's been doing that, and it's come around quicker, I think, than his turnaround at Ball State, and I saw it last spring. I think he got the kids to believe, and his strength coach Aaron Wellman is a great asset to the program too, where everything that they do, it's about building confidence, about being a team, and it's about being accountable to your teammates. And I think he's really done the job that you would want him to, and really is an excellent coach.
Seems like a fun guy to be around too.
Yeah,
you know, straight shooter, Midwest guy.
Yeah, he'll make fun of about his weight or whatever, and what he eats, his pizza nights, and those kinds of things. And but I think and he's hard on the kids too. They know that they can't cross the line, but I think they love playing for him because they know he's in their foxhole with them, and he's ready to support them, and will do everything he can to help them be successful. So I think he's a great balance. On the academic side, he holds them accountable, going to class. Our APR, our GPAs have gone up with him, and that's important because that differentiates us from the pros. We're part of education. Our main goal is to get those kids graduated each year, and obviously you want to win a lot of games in the meantime and have the best players there and represent your school in the most positive way. But our core mission is to make sure our student athletes graduate.
And well, with that success on the football field, it comes with that, and that is speculation in a lot of different places, and his name being mentioned at other schools and in other conferences and such. I'm sure you probably have heard at least a murmur or two, or read a murmur or two about Brady Hoke. What does that mean inside an athletic department when you hear it?
Well, one, it doesn't surprise you when you have somebody that's successful that they're going to have opportunities, and I think it comes down to the individual, what they want, and what the institution, their relationship with the department and their staff and the university, and I think Brady is one also that doesn't have the attitude. He's not going to necessarily look at that pasture next door, and that's greener than what he has right now. And I think he's done a great job of starting to build a program, and I think he can really continue and be successful here, and we're gonna help him do that.
Do you address it with him, some of the stuff that's being put out there at other jobs?
Not necessarily, but what we've addressed is, okay, Brady, what do you think are the things that we need to do as a football program, as an institution, as an athletics department to continue to build the football program and get those thoughts from them, and we're in the process, and we've been doing that over the past few weeks of what are those items and what can we do to make sure that we're moving ahead, because if you sit still, you're moving backwards, especially in intercollegiate athletics and competing. You're competing on a daily basis for players, for staff, for all of those, for coaches, and so you need to be moving ahead, and that's what we want to do, is move ahead with our program, and I think we can do that. I'm really excited about the opportunity at San Diego State. I think of any place I've been and been associated with, this is the place that has the best opportunity to really be successful on a long-term basis and be successful on a national level.
Is there any talk about an extension when it comes to Brady Hoke?
Well,
is that a possibility too? I mean,
oh yeah,
it's the state.
You can do that, and the thing with Brady though, I mean, you can't get him to talk about a bowl game, much less what's happening at the end of the season, with him, and so you got to take it in steps, and he's day to day and looking at that, but I've been talking to him about what outside of that, and I think all of those things, facilities, the salaries and the support of academic support, all those things play into what makes a football coach feel like he can be successful, and that's what I want to make sure that Brady does feel that way, and I think he does. He's not someone that's looking at that and ready to jump to the next best thing, and I think he loves it here. I think his wife Laura likes it. What's to not like about San Diego? And we need to continue to grow this program so that we keep the Brady Hokes of the world. We've kept the Steve Fishers of the world. That it can happen in football too.
Last question on that, and we'll slide around and go to basketball and everything else. I mean, do you have an expectation though that people will come calling for him this year?
Yeah, I think there's rumors out there, there's openings out there, but I think I expect that there'll be a call or two.
Okay, fair enough. Jim Sterk in studio. Take a quick time out. Darren Smith, this is Double X 1090, athletic director at San Diego State. Quite a year. I mean, we can't even get through football here, and I still got a ton to talk about with basketball. And I'm sure, as any good athletic director, you probably want to pump up a whole bunch of other programs up there as well. But man, just exciting times. I mean, you talk about basketball the other night, and you were there with Steve Fisher, being in the top 25, some stuff that's really got a lot of Aztec people pretty proud now after a bunch of lean years. What was it like up there in Spokane?
Well, about all our programs, last year we had 9 of our 18 sports made it to postseason play. That gave me a good indication that this was a heck of a program. And being up at Gonzaga, I'd been up there a few times with Washington State, and I have one of those other wins. I was the AD at Washington State, so I have 2 of those 5. So I feel pretty good about that.
Good luck, charm.
Yeah, exactly. Steve will take me along next time, I think. But yeah, it's an atmosphere that's really good. I thought our kids were mature enough and seasoned enough, and they showed it. I think they, from start to finish, they led the game, and they really withstood a lot of pressure, a lot of intensity, adversity, and getting people into foul trouble and all that. So I thought they responded really well. Steve did a heck of a job, and the coaching staff did a heck of a job preparing. We were prepared, and we knew what we were doing. There wasn't a hesitation about things, and as you would expect with a veteran club. And Steve likes to say last year at this time it wasn't all that. They had a bunch of new players, and it's a big difference in having those guys back and knowing what they're doing. And you really, DJ up front is a team leader and an extension of the coaching staff. So they've got I really like our team. They responded well, and it was fun to be up there.
Well, and I wonder, because as an athletic director, you have to think about. I mean, the term athletic director, it's a little misleading because you have to think. I mean, I was looking at your bio earlier. You have a BA in physical education and business, and it's probably more the business side than it is the athletic side, right? I mean, because it's business.
Yeah, it is. You have it's a $30 million enterprise, $31 million enterprise that you need to make sure that you're a steward of your resources, and you really kind of break it down into 5 areas that I do anyway, as far as the student athlete experience, the athletic and academic, and developing them as people. The personnel side, we have 100 employees and then almost 500 student athletes. So there's always something going on the personnel side of things. Facilities, making sure that you have competitive facilities, and then they're ready to be used, and people that do that, and so you have that side of it, and then you have resource acquisition. You got to have the resources to run a $30 million program, and with state cuts and enrollment drops and things like that, it really impacted us. I felt like I was in a black hole this summer and not fighting my way out, but we've had some good news. Ticket sales were up and highest ever in men's basketball. We're hitting our budgets on the football side, and then this spring it looks like there's going to be some students added to San Diego State as far as the overall student enrollment that'll help us on our student fee side. So there's that business side, and then you're on the political side. You're really kind of an anomaly in higher education. You're there trying to run kind of a quasi business, but yet you're there as educating kids, and that's what the most important thing we do. So that's you have the parents, you have the kids, you've got the community, you've got alumni that are all part of that, the faculty, and so you need to balance those things as an athletics director. So
and I would think too. I mean, I think part of the excitement here, and I've been beating this drum for a little while. I mean, before you came on board, is I think part of the excitement with that game, obviously it's beating Gonzaga. Everybody knows what Gonzaga means. Part of it is doing it on the road. Part of it is that they're ranked. Part of it is there is an excitement level for the season. But also I thought a huge part of it was that everybody in the town saw it because it was on ESPN too.
Yeah.
How much of a factor is that? I mean, the Mountain is still not available in half the city here, but everybody saw it on ESPN too. Didn't you think that was part of the overall experience with the excitement of that game?
It is, and actually Cox has been great with our football games, putting some of those on and simulcasting, so that really helps us. But believe me, it's been a priority of mine as athletics director, and I was just on a call today with the conference and the presidents, and TV contract is a number one issue out there for us, and we're trying to do some things to change that. Although some of the things that the Mountain does is very good as far as our Olympic sports, they get a lot of exposure that they wouldn't get if you were on an ESPN, and so there has to be a balance, and we need to have a better balance for our TV contract.
Yeah, the Mountain by itself isn't the issue, but
No.
I mean the Versus contract is up pretty soon, right?
Yes, yeah, it's up after this year, and so that's something that can be addressed.
Is there any talk about possibly somewhere maybe getting back into business with ESPN?
Yeah, that could be a possibility, but I think what happened 5-6 years ago when the contract came up, I think ESPN had been the partner with the league, and they kind of lowballed the league, and then the Mountain contract was about 3 times what the ESPN was offering, and you didn't have to play a football game on Tuesday night or Wednesday night and things like that. And so I think the presidents at that time made a good decision, but then the performance of it needed to be, I think, stronger on the performance side and the distribution side. Dallas is still a distribution issue, and North San Diego County is a distribution issue. So those are things that we're trying to address.
All right, Jim Sterk is in studio. Let me take a quick time out there, Jim. A couple more quick questions for you. Good times up on the Mesa right now, as we were talking about with basketball and football, and Utah comes to town this week. Got to say thank you to the man, Mike May. Brought in one of these Kirk Morrison Aztec jerseys that you guys are giving away this weekend.
Yeah, 2,000 of those that have, and our students are a part of that in the promotion of Spirit Issue, and I think it'll be a great night. You want to come early. You want to get your tickets early, and we've had had a lot of demand. Great walk-up in the last couple games, and I expect a great walk-up for this game with number 4 Utah coming to town.
I would think so. Utah, I mean, clearly they're kind of hit the skids a little bit here last couple of weeks, but another chance, go out, win. Second place, Mountain West Conference. We talked a little bit about the possibilities of the Poinsettia Bowl, if that's even the right way to phrase it. So with football there, and were you guys surprised when you got that big walk-up for Colorado State?
You know, it was bigger than a Sky Show walk-up for that Colorado State game. So that if that gives you any indication, usually those games, from what I've understood, have been huge games, and it's been double. So I think we expect a great walk-up this weekend. Should be a great game for people to see, and it's a good one.
You guys, there was an interesting, because I think people know the politics here and what's going on in the Mountain West Conference. This will be the final time we see Utah as a member of the Mountain West Conference. We've already seen the last of BYU as a Mountain West Conference school as well. Have you come up yet with a strategy to replace those games on the schedule for next year?
Yeah, we actually, with Boise State coming in, we have one of those replaced, and then we're close to announcing another opponent that we have at the end of the year, and I think people will like that. And it's something that we planned for. We needed to be ready, and I think it's all going to work out very well.
Would you like to announce that score right here, right now?
Sorry, don't have a signed deal yet.
We have water to offer, and what else? We have 6 televisions we're allowing you to watch. Come on, we'll scratch your back. You can scratch ours. So there is an opponent out there then that you feel good about for replacing the one conference game that you lose next year.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and there's also this school of thought that maybe your former conference, the Pac-10, for people who don't know, Jim came from Washington State, Pac-10. They're splitting into 2 divisions, and the schools in the north, Washington State, Oregon State, aren't necessarily guaranteed to play in Los Angeles against UCLA and USC, and that they would be willing, they'd love to get into Southern California. Have you heard from any of the schools up north about playing and having Pac-10 schools come down here so that they can do what they have to do in Southern California?
I haven't just recently, but we have Washington State on the schedule. They'll be one of our home games next year.
That's the Jim Sterk Bowl.
Yeah, that's right. And then Oregon State is in the future. We've got them already on the schedule. So a couple of them already had done that, and I think there could be more in the future.
It's a good position to be in for you guys, right? I mean,
yeah.
Is it fair to say that maybe you guys do benefit a little bit from the way the Pac-10 has split its conferences?
Yeah, and I think even the Big 12 type schools are interested in doing home and homes where they come into town, and people covet the San Diego market here, and not only the number of households but obviously the talent that's raised here. So it is a positive from that standpoint. A little bit different than being on the Palouse.
I would think so, just a tad, huh? But
yeah.
In a weird way, though, I'm sure you have Aztec fans who are going, well, we don't want those guys coming in here and getting their inroads when it comes to recruiting. Is that a double-edged sword?
Yeah, I think you need to have a balance, and we're trying to do that with our schedule, and Brady's been great about, I always, with the football schedule, try to work with the football coach and make sure that they are totally bought into what we're doing, and Brady's been a good one with that. And
speaking of, I know this was a topic earlier today about BYU. BYU not leaving, but BYU, some would say Mountain West Conference, San Diego State's best rival. I don't know the way you feel about that, but BYU is not part of the consideration for at least the near future?
Correct, yeah.
How come?
I think once we level the playing field and we figure out some way to have the missions and have 24-year-olds on the line of scrimmage, then it helps your team a lot. So I think right now we're staying away from that, and that Coach Hoke and I are on the same page with that one.
Okay, so it has nothing to do with the way they handle their replay business.
No, it doesn't.
Okay. Well, and would you understand? Have you heard from San Diego State Aztec fans though who say, "Come on, this is our rival, man. I mean, this is the team we want to face"? Or are most people like, "Good riddance"?
I have heard from the fans, and it's the latter.
It is.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you listen to Hacksaw?
A little bit.
Okay, because Hacksaw was barking about that today. He said, how could they do this? They should be playing BYU every year.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, fair enough on that one. And we'll respect your opinion. I agree with you. I mean, why would you have to kowtow to them?
Right. Yeah.
They're leaving.
Yeah.
They made their bed. Go lie in it.
Right. And they need us more than we need them.
I like that. Well said. That's good stuff there. So BYU out, and you'll tease us. When do you think we'll be able to announce the future opponents?
Hopefully in the next couple of weeks we should have that done.
Next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. Good news.
Not
I like
today.
it too. You excited about? I mean, Washington State. That's next year, though.
Yeah, we've got a
Sterk
great schedule, and we go to Army, we go to Michigan, but we've got Cal Poly first in Washington, and then TCU will be on the home schedule here. So it's a good home schedule.
Hopefully you're not taking on Brady Hoke at Michigan next year.
I don't think so.
No comment, right? Go Michigan. Go Blue, baby. Go beat Wisconsin, Ohio State.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, this weekend, we'll see you Qualcomm Stadium.
Absolutely. 7 p.m. game. It's going to be a great. Get there a couple hours early, and with the Warrior Walk, it's really our players and coaches really like it. And then there'll be a lot of festivities. And as I said, there's 20,000 jerseys being given away, and you need to get there early because we will run out. There's over 30,000 tickets out right now, so there'll be a great crowd.
Pie in the sky. I brought this up with your predecessor a couple times. I know this is so ridiculous to even bring up, but pie in the sky. Do you even think about the possibility of a We've talked about the Chargers' new stadium, and who knows what their future is. But do you think about, is there any way, just in your wildest dreams, you would ever think about San Diego State football stadium?
Oh, I think we have to think that way, and we have to be ready for whatever card we're dealt with in the future. So I think Qualcomm's a great place. It's a pro stadium and all of that, and downtown could be an option if that develops. But we have to look out for what's best for San Diego State.
Okay, so you've thought about it.
Yes.
Okay, and no plans, just thought about it.
Oh, no concrete plans, but I think we have to keep our options open.
Do you think even in your wildest dreams, could it be a possibility?
You know, it could be. Yeah, it definitely could be.
Closer to campus?
Don't have an exact location right now, but you never know. And I think you're right on track as far as what we have to be prepared for. And we're building a program and we're San Diego's state university that has a Division I program, and we need to put a product out there. And I think once we've done that, and now people are seeing that, they're excited about the future of San Diego State football, and so the stadium is a part of that. Well, Jim, thank you very much for coming in studio. I know it's across town here. We appreciate it. Now we're going to let you get out of here in rush hour traffic, so we appreciate you doing that for us. And don't hold it against us. We hope you come back. All right, thanks, Darren.